Welcome to another episode of HCP Visits. Here's your host, Woody Watts.
Hello, this is Woody Watts, and we are here on the back deck of Hill City Paranormal's resident skeptic, Mr. Jeremy Sutman.
Hello, Woody.
Hello, Jeremy. Yes, we are, in fact, on the back deck of his beautiful home, which shares a driveway with my cute home that I'm looking at right now. And this is where we talk about many of our investigations and stories and things that have happened. So we thought it'd be kind of fun to share some stories about the Academy investigation that we did. The tours have been completely sold out. So they are sold out through the month. So if you did not get your ticket, I'm sorry about that. But
that's a great thing for Lynchburg. That's a great thing for the theater.
It's a great thing. It's a great thing. So, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of talk about the investigation, see some behind the scenes stuff, what we were feeling, because when we're there at the tour, we get a lot of the same questions after the tour. We have a table set up where we have T-shirts, stickers, stuff like that. Just some cool swag. We hope that you'll buy merch, that you'll support the team. But we get a lot of same questions, and one of the questions is, did you really stay overnight, or how long did you actually stay? So
it was overnight, long enough to nod off a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, what was it, 4 hours, maybe 5 hours?
Yeah, the answer that it's not a canned answer. It's not a, I'm not trying to say, but it's best describes it. It's time really did kind of warp while we were in there, because we shut the doors and told Tabitha, lock the doors, shut us in, so we know that what we hear is just us hearing whatever is in that space, nobody else. Exactly. So, and time just, I don't know, it just kind of we went in and then came out, and it was a different, the sun was in a different place. That's the only way I can really describe it. Like, it was just kind of like, man, what time are we done? Because it was the Academy is a lovely place. But when no one is there, it takes on like a totally different vibe.
It feels, much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds carry in a different way. When you have a full theater full of people, those people absorb sound. And that's why in a full theater, an actor needs to project more, because the people are absorbing some of those sound waves. But when you're in there and it's just the three of us, there was lots of weird sounds. Sounds carried.
Mm-hmm. Everything.
That was
like you could hear usually, and we've done quite a few events there. We also do the videography for the Academy, for the events.
Concerts,
shows. All the cool stuff that goes on. We are privileged enough to be able to go in and document this stuff. So I mean, we're there a lot, so we kind of know the building.
But it was a very different feel.
Yes, it was very different. Like, I mean, for example, there was a time when you were on stage filming some stuff, some B-roll and some interview stuff, and then Todd and I were up at the actual top balcony where they start the tour, and you could hear every word we were saying. Like, mm-hmm. You could hear our whole conversation because no one else was in there. There was nothing deadening the sound. So that was a weird feeling that we could hear directly to the very tip top of the building. Now when the building's full, you can't hear anything.
Yeah, I could hear you guys, and yet it felt like a vast distance away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which adds to sort of the creepiness of it all.
Yes. So everything was, I would say, to that question, did we stay overnight? Yeah, we stayed in it a long time. We didn't get any sleep. We didn't sleep while we were there.
I nodded off.
Yeah, nodded off a couple of times, especially early on.
Early on, before the weird stuff started to happen. We did the setup. That took a little while, and then it was waiting, and then I got bored, and
you ran out of coffee.
I nodded off a little bit,
mm-hmm.
and then once the weird stuff started happening, I was awake.
And then what was funny was towards the end of we call it the weird stuff. So once towards the end of that, we were ready to go. Like, we were ready. Like, we were like, okay, yeah, I'm good. I have had my fill. Let's go. And at one point, I wanted to leave the equipment there and just come back and get it.
Right.
Like, so I remember running, like, not running, but like, okay, guys, yeah, we're done. Like, I'm good. Like, I need to get outside and get some air. And then Todd was asked, hey, what about the equipment? And I was like, oh, that's right. We got like 10 GoPros lined up and cameras everywhere. So, well, maybe we will come back and get it, you know? So it was a point where we all kind of needed a breath of fresh air.
Right.
And to get outside and just to.
But the funny thing was how physically close we got.
Yeah.
When we were leaving. Like,
Yep.
nobody wanted to be left
Nope.
behind. Nobody wanted to be more than an arm's length away from the other guys.
Yep. Yeah. That was we were
And
ready.
there was a relief as soon as you exited the building. There was a definite sense of relief. I just got the sense that whatever was going on, once you left the building and closed those doors, it wasn't going to continue following us.
Mm-mm.
So I felt
No.
relief. I was still weirded out. Definitely still weirded out. A little confused. But I did feel relief as soon as I left that space.
Yes. And I think it's like if you go on a roller coaster ride that is indoors, basically, or something like that, where you go in, you don't know what to expect, and you're in this different environment, and everything is heightened. Everything is enhanced and heightened, and just you're already like kind of on edge. And then it was, like when you get out, it was like, oh, okay. I mean, we could have sat in the chair and nothing happened. And then when we got outside, it was like, okay, all right. You know, because like you built this thing up, and then
There's some tension in your body and
Yep.
in your mind, and then you release that, and there's a relief once you get out. But then a few beats later,
yeah,
like, what was that?
Yeah,
And then you
what
start
happened?
turning it over in your head. Yeah.
And I remember going to it this is in the footage leading up to the tour. So the people who have taken the tour would know the footage that's in the lobby, the in the car footage, and that is all one take. Like this stuff, we didn't go and redo multiple times. Like Jeremy had the camera in the car. We left from our house. Again, we share a driveway, so we left here, filmed it. All that stuff is like, I mean, you know,
And that was we were just trying out that brand
Yeah.
new gimbal.
Yeah, we were trying it out, and then so that all of that is like completely like genuine first take footage, and so I mean we were like leading up to it, we had talked about the history, and talked about what Tabitha had talked, you know, because we had done her interview, and we kind of were
Right.
filled in a little bit about what had happened, but yeah, you know, when you go in and you lock the doors and everything is supposedly quiet, and then you keep hearing stuff, it just puts you into place. It just
I went in, as always,
Mhm.
very skeptical.
Yes.
I didn't quite get why this Ida St. Leon performer would be so bothered by not playing in Lynchburg. I mean, I love this town. I
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
But, you know, she traveled all over the world. Why was she so upset that she couldn't perform in Lynchburg, Virginia, that it haunted her? Or that it spurred her spirit to haunt the theater? That part I was skeptical about, very much so. That just didn't ring true to me. And of course, you know, we learned some things afterwards.
Yeah.
that-
Well, the interesting thing, and this came up actually last night after the tour, a really nice family came up to our booth after and asked us about that, and asked us about Ida St. Leon, and was that part, all the stuff about the history of the Academy and the play, that is all true. That is absolutely true. You can look up any article you want to, do your own research. That is all true, because Dr. Bill Kirshner, he is the one that actually did the proper historical research for us. Like
he's the theater historian
Yeah.
over at Sweetbriar
yeah,
College. Yeah.
He is completely legit. And that interview, like he was the one that actually presented the whole history to us as a group and said, hey, listen, this is from the fire, pre-fire up until today. And so when we were, you know, talking about the haunted tours, yes, but also talking about doing an investigation, you know, we wanted it to be historically accurate, as historically accurate as we could, right? And so that's why he was such a huge part, because I mean, you know, he brought the actual history to it. So all of that, the Ida St. Leon coming back or her team coming the day after the fire. I think it was the day. It was
The
later
day
in the
of or
day.
you know, it was they couldn't. They were there to perform, but they couldn't because
Yeah.
the place was all.
It was still
damaged.
smoking.
Yeah.
They walked from the train station, from the Depot Grill.
Probably down there,
yeah,
sure.
walked up, and the building was still smoking. That's a true story. And they said that they could not perform. That and at the time, this was the biggest and best venue for that large of a production. This wasn't just a small production. This was a huge deal. Like, this was a huge production. I mean, they had a ton of people
and it was
involved.
a huge theater.
Yeah, it was a huge theater. So nowhere else in this area could house this production. And so I thought that was really interesting, that, and that's kind of the story that we pulled from. We felt like had the most, because what we could not fit into the historical footage, just due to the tour time, was the fact that she had left show business to get married, and then her and her husband separated. Then she came back to show business. She was caught up in another relationship of another married couple.
Right.
A little scandal. But then her and her husband got back together, and then she and her husband and his mother vacationed here in Virginia because his family had ties here. So she did have Virginia ties, and we believe that she was so disappointed about performing here, because this was the area that her family
Right.
she could showcase her talents, because she wasn't from here. She was from Australia.
Right, and if you're traveling all over the world, you're playing to strangers almost all the time. So the chance, especially back then when traveling was even more difficult, the chance to play for people you knew was probably thrilling. And she didn't get to do it.
She didn't get to do it. No, and then she's an interesting person to research anyway. So all of that, that's a kind of another question that we had, especially last night. What was her deal? Was she all that's real? All that is actually Dr. Bill Kirshner gave that to us. So that was a really good story. And there's other stories though that Tabitha shared that kind of put us on edge when we came in. Was the one with the construction worker. The construction workers were taking stuff from the renovation home and then bringing it back because things were happening. That's true. That's all
So
true.
they were taking some souvenirs from the old theater.
Yes. And then there was a ring story that we did not fit into the investigation footage. Was that during the renovation process, they found a wedding ring. And then gave it back to the owner, and then a couple months later, they found the ring again. And
Wait. Wait, I didn't hear this.
This, you have to talk to Tabitha about this. So this is kind of added to the whole Ida love. Like, wait a minute.
Wait, because this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a ring that was found and lost. Say that again.
Yeah, found. There's
Okay.
a ring found
During
the renovation process.
the renovation. Okay.
They found it. They gave it to, I'm not sure if they gave it. It was to the supposed owner of the, you know what I mean, like connected to the right person.
Okay.
Right. But then they went back and they found the ring again
In the theater.
in a theater. So now you can
Do
go.
you know where?
I don't know where. No.
We need to find out,
Okay. Yeah.
because
I didn't tell you this. I didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting on the stage for a little bit when during that time, we'd set up the cameras and we were just kind of chilling,
Yeah.
waiting for stuff to happen. I stood up and I thought I heard a coin drop, like a metal drop, and then a roll, like if you dropped a quarter and it rolled like some distance.
but then I didn't see anything, right?
Yeah.
And I don't carry change in
Yeah.
my pockets anymore. I'm a credit card kind of guy. I hardly ever have cash. I never have change in my pocket. I don't have a jangling keys or anything. And if I did, I still had my keys. So I heard like a bing roll, and then I saw nothing on the stage. It's a wide open stage. Nothing. And I didn't find a ring. It's not like I found a ring or anything.
Okay. Well.
But I want to know where they found that ring.
All right. Now, okay, so knowing that now, it's
I didn't
even
think anything of
stranger.
it. It happened. I looked
Yeah.
around. I didn't think it was any connection, anything paranormal. I thought it was I dropped something, then couldn't find it. But it irked me a little bit. Like, what did I drop?
What did you drop? Well, all right, so that's okay. See, that's another layer because so one night after the tour, guess what they found? A ring.
No,
I swear to you, they found a ring. So Tabitha went
not the same ring.
not
no.
the same ring,
Another
but a ring. But so she emailed and tried to get a lot of the volunteers. Like we found a wedding ring. Like somebody lost a ring. So my mind is already racing about this ring. So listen. Like this is all. We're not making this up. So the whole ideal Ida, we felt the love. There's an element of love, involved in this.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do the investigation, we do the history, and then all of a sudden we hear the story about the ring, and then you have your ring, and then there's this recurring theme of a ring
Right.
that needs to be explored.
Yeah, I want to find out.
Okay.
I know where I was on the stage, and I want to find out where they're finding these things.
Okay. Well, good. See, there you go. There you
Yeah.
go, everybody. So if you're on the tour and you find a wedding ring, let us know because apparently that is a recurring.
Yeah.
And they have
Don't keep it.
Don't keep it. No, let us know.
It's not
because-
worth it. Truly.
No, gosh, no, leave it where it's at. Gosh, that's great. I want to look back. I want to look into
Wow.
that. Yeah.
I need to find out now. You know me.
Yep.
It's a coin. It's a key. It had a roll to it, so I'm thinking it was a coin. But I didn't know this ring part.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I didn't know that until last week. I believe Tabitha came up to the booth and she was telling us about the ring, that they found a ring. I was like, wait, what ring? And then we found out about the ring story, which we didn't know about when we were filming at all. And was
I
like,
knew
oh.
about the construction worker. Was it a lion's head?
It was a lion's, yeah.
Head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a real, like a
Yeah,
stone or plaster.
or something,
Yeah. But the ring.
The ring. It keeps coming back. And that is completely true. I believe they have the ring, well, one of the rings. It's actually in the souvenir thing in the...
Where they show the historical things
when
that
you
they
show-
found. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, so if you're listening to this and you go to the academy, take a second, look at that ring, see if you notice it anywhere else in the building. If you
Right.
hear the ring drop, because that is
But even if you're not there for anything paranormal, I would
Exactly.
say if you're there checking out the theater, go a little early. The lobby's great. It's very modern, very bright. It's a beautiful lobby. And then you get into the theater, and it has all these little glass insets where they have some things that they found in the restoration and some things from the fire, right?
Yep.
Those are definitely worth checking out.
And actually, during the tour nights, and I think it's all month, but up on the upper level, they have artifacts from the actual, from the fire, like the fire nozzle that was used that night to put out the fire. And these are actual, like the Lynchburg Fire Department. We didn't know this. Tabitha contacted them before the tours to be a part of it, since the fire is part of the Academy's history. And they were like, oh yeah, by the way, we have this, and this from that fire. They kept apparently impeccable records.
Wow.
And so if you do get a chance, you're listening to this, absolutely go talk to those firemen, those firefighters, because they know the history, and the fire station. I think they said that one of the, back then it was the horse-drawn carriages, with the water on them there, and then the fire was so great they had to call in a backup. So
Wow.
yeah, it was really interesting. So
that the fire story originally, when you told me about this a long time ago, I thought, oh, someone died in the fire, or it was a full theater and lots of people died in the fire. That wasn't the case. No one was killed in this fire. And I thought, well, that's where your ghost, if there was a ghost, I'm very skeptical, but that's a logical starting point for where this ghost would have come from, with someone who died in the fire. But it was an empty theater at the time, except for some people who worked there.
Corbin,
There was a manager, right?
Well, and a funny behind-the-scenes thing, just so that people are aware that we cared about the actual history of it. Early in the process, when we were talking about something fun to do in October for the community to come to see the Academy and just to have a fun experience, that was the original idea. Like that's what we thought. Like, okay, so this place had caught fire, so maybe we can theme the tour around the fire. Someone died in the fire. We'll come to find that's where Bill Kirshner came in and was like, no, that didn't actually happen. No one died in the fire.
Right.
The fire started in the basement. A worker that we didn't know the name of was there, and I don't know his title, but there was an apartment up on the top balcony. Corbin Shields was his name.
Was he like a caretaker?
Yeah,
maybe?
caretaker. And so his family was up there, and thank God this woman that we do not know her name, she went up and alerted them, and they were all safe. So I mean, originally we were kind of thinking, okay, fire, how can we? Because yes, we can get the footage and we can investigate, but we also wanted to have an experience for people, but be historic. So just so you know that, I mean, that's research went into that, and we thought, okay, this would be good, but no one died. And then Bill was like, no, that didn't happen. This is what happened. And then so he kind of led us down the road of, you're kind of looking in the wrong way. You should be looking at this Polly of the Circus, this Ida St. Leon, the Love Triangle.
That's the name of her
play. Yes,
the play,
Polly of the Circus. Yes,
yeah.
Which was a play, and then I believe they turned it into. It was a fairly large movie in the 30s, I believe. So there was a play, then a movie, and then another movie about it later on. So it was a big deal. But it was a big production. So that's interesting about the ring. So if you're on the tour and you hear a ring drop, let us know. Like, call our number, let us know, because that's like new information that's pretty exciting. So,
yeah, I didn't know about the ring part, and then
yeah.
That really struck a chord with me just now.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm still like,
I know, right?
Yeah. And again, I'm like, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, that whatever that was, that sound of metal hitting that stage, and then that little roll, I couldn't find anything.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of pushed that out of my memory until you mentioned the ring.
I know, right? So we're going to be researching this ring more. Hopefully we'll
Let's go back in the daytime, though.
I know. I'm not. Well, yeah, that's another question people were asking about. The equipment that you use, and like what are your methods, right? Because in all honesty, like paranormal groups, they range. Like you have groups that, and listen, everyone has a different method, right? You have groups that try to communicate, that that do with electrical meters, and that do laser grids, and that do spirit box. So
we're not mediums. We don't have any kind of
none of that
cool gadgets to detect those things other than video.
That's our main thing, and that's why we don't criticize anybody. Everyone has their method. Our method does not include that. Like, we do not go into a place and try to communicate with anything. That's just not our deal. That's not what we do. And, as far as spirit boxes and stuff like that, we just don't do it, because our day jobs, we create videos, commercials, marketing, and we have a ton of video equipment. So we believe in video. That's what we believe in.
And I think you had mentioned this before. We get ourselves in a little bit of trouble because some of the commercials that we have are about a fictitious character who goes looking for Bigfoot and aliens and whatnot.
And that's because we love it.
And but that was a way to sell cars.
Yes.
But this is different. This is, well, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because this isn't making the money that selling cars and does, but we're really out there doing it instead of, a guy in a Bigfoot costume stealing my truck.
Yes.
Then people think, oh, he's the guy who does the gimmicky Bigfoot commercials. Yes.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
He is.
But that's when I'm an actor.
Yeah. This is Jeremy. This is Jeremy. That's
exactly.
Rick. That's Rick. But that is funny, because we had that question come up last night, actually, is that, hey, I know that guy. He's an actor. He's chasing Bigfoot in a commercial with a ghost. Well, yeah, he is, because he's a good actor. And we have fun.
Right,
so
we do a ghost commercial because it's Halloween.
It's Halloween, and we like ghosts. And
we had good effects for it.
Yeah, so I mean,
but But that ghost with the ghost effects doesn't show up in the videos
No.
for us looking at
Yeah.
the theater.
And I think that's why too. We were asked, when did we become a group, and when did, why Hill City Paranormal, and that's sort of why we formed the official group, because we wanted a separation, so that one, you could have something people could kind of, identify with, rally behind, and that we could have a separate vibe, a separate,
Sure.
a separate home for that. Other than, because we are producing commercials with Bigfoot, stuff like that. But it's because that's our love letter. I love that stuff. Like
It's fun.
it's fun, and I'm a fanboy. So it's like, that's what I do. But also that is the reason we formed Hill City Paranormal. So there was something different. Like, it's like when you see Hill City Paranormal, we're fun, and we're as skeptical as the next guy. So I understand when you come to me and tell me that, I get it. But we have fun. But video evidence, that is our main goal, and really the history of the place. Like those two things are very important.
That's why I signed up to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you told me we're going to go through a paranormal investigation of a theater, I was like, well, first of all, I'm not trained in that. I'm not a medium.
Mm-hmm.
I don't communicate with the dead. I don't see dead people. But then when you said we're just doing video, I'm like, well, that's what we do.
Yes.
So let's go do that. But then, I've been to the theater to see performances. I've worked doing camera work at the theater. But then the access we got in that empty theater was amazing. Like, I was down checking out in the basement, in the sub basement, checking out the dressing rooms.
It's just cool.
Just cool.
Yeah.
And I thought, here's the thing about that theater. If you haven't been, you have to go, because it is absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, the lobby's very modern. It's a wonderful lobby. And then when you get into the theater, it's all redone, but it still has that grandeur of the last turn of the century. And new seats, all that stuff, great lighting and sound equipment. But then you find these little nooks and crannies that suddenly you're transported to the old theater.
Absolutely.
Like some of the old seats.
Yes.
The
And the doors that don't go anywhere. Yeah.
The ticket taker's booth for the segregated section up top, which, I mean, my gosh.
Yeah.
To think that the theater, when it closed, it was still segregated.
Yeah.
And then for it to reopen, it was, an integrated theater and wonderful performers, and that was a great thing to see. But when we went to the absolute basement of the building, and you see the stone foundations, this isn't poured concrete, these are stones, and then that big wooden support column that looks like it's been scorched by fire.
Yeah. That was original. That was there.
I mean, that's a huge chunk of wood holding that place up. Still doing it.
And it was it was a cool experience. So when we were asked to do a paranormal investigation, of course, we have been kind of like Jeremy said, we were into the exploring anyway. We put it into our commercial. So whenever we did film a Bigfoot commercial, God, we were up in the middle of the woods anyway.
Right.
And we were like, how do I hear Bigfoot? So we were kind of like in that mindset. But just the opportunity to hang out in the theater with no one else. I mean,
that's why I went.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a cool thing, and plus it's a cool place. And every time you walk in, it never gets old. It never gets old. And we do just about every weekend these amazing performances, and like Napoleon Dynamite coming in, Brian McKnight. I mean, they're all across the board. Like, it just never gets old, and it's so awesome to come into a place, and especially these haunted tours, that where people are having fun. You do not have to worry about getting grabbed and dragged down a hallway. The story.
Right. We should mention that there are sort of two levels to the event that people would go to. There are actors dramatizing some of the events.
Yes.
So it is like going to you know, a haunted house or something like that, where obviously there are people there to give you the willies, creep you out,
Yeah.
scare you a little bit. So there are actors, they do a great job from what I understand.
Amazing.
But, you know, they're just sort of filling in some color and character
Yeah.
around a story in and of itself, and a vibe that you get when we were in that theater, you know, locked in,
Yes.
that is real.
And I think that's why I loved the idea of this tour, because it combined both elements. It combined our paranormal love and an investigation. And there's been multiple investigations there. Like, that wasn't just the only one. But we were the only one that really relies on video. So that's why you get to see, we were, you
Right.
know, but that was what I loved about this, was that it combines the academy and the theater production, and then it combines what we love to do is we love to investigate and we love to produce. Like, we love to produce, you know, entertaining videos and get people, you know, involved. And the fact that we could do that and investigate and add a theater production to it was just a wonderful experience. And it's still going on, but like, it just was it was a great combination of everything that building and that the talents involved can offer. And like, I mean, the behind the scenes stuff that people don't realize, and I'm not spoiling it, but like, the actors you see are all volunteers, you know, like all the ghosts and everything in the lobbies and everything. I mean, they're all volunteers, and they're all just, they love it. They love theater. They love that. And like the production, Michael and Emily and Brittany and Tabitha, everybody involved, just leading up to it to add that, the in-between spots. So the videos you see are the videos. That was going to be what they were going to be. Like, what footage we got, that was it. The historical part, that was it. Okay. But then it was up to the academy to really fill it in. So you're not just walking from video to video, you know.
Because it is about a theater.
Exactly.
You know, and it is about something that happened to live performers.
Yes.
So just having video isn't going to work. It doesn't fill it out as much. So I think it's a great combination of the evidence,
yeah,
and then it's filled out with live actors.
Yeah, and get to show off a little bit. Like the academy, they've got some great technology in that building. You know, like, I mean, they've got just you can't beat it for the area.
Right.
I mean,
it's really
wonderful.
nice. But then also on the tour, you get to see a little bit behind the scenes of the theater that someone who goes to see a regular show isn't going to see.
Yes, exactly. And what's funny is during the pre-tour, so when you come in, you go to the top lobby, you can enjoy drinks and just enjoy hanging out up at the top, watch the videos, talk to the firemen. When Ben, who helps us with the historical aspects, which is the tour guide, he's volunteering there every night, you know, but he helped with the historical part, and he's just a really good tour guide. He's really good at talking. You know, leading into the tour, he lets people know that there's 187 steps. People don't realize that the building is that big. Like, you ride past it on, you know, downtown, and then you're like, oh, it's beautiful, whatever. But you're getting a tour of the whole building.
Right.
You're starting from the top, and you're going all the way to the basement. And very few people get to see that. You come into the lobby, you get your ticket, you go to your seat, that's it. So this tour really is wonderful, because you start from the very tip top,
right,
as far as you can go, all the way to the bottom.
That is the thing about the theater, is there's seemingly always another set of stairs.
It is, yeah.
There's always another set of stairs.
It's like a maze. And then because during the investigation, that was one of the things, like, we were in different parts. So yes, we were together for some. That's why some of the footage, we were together, then we're apart, then we're in some of the same areas. But we tried to stay together for some of it, so that if we heard anything, it wasn't just one person hearing something or another you know. But then when we spread out, I mean, yeah, you're spread out, but you can still hear it. Like, you hear the sounds, but yeah, I mean, we would be up and you couldn't see the other person, but then you could hear their conversation, you know. So it was just a wonderful experience. But so the questions are, you know, that did we stay? You know, time was crazy while we were there. From a technical standpoint, yeah, we rely on video. You know, we're not going to go into anything kind of like that. It's not our method,
right,
so to speak. And what to expect for the tour, a blend, like a really cool blend of technology, theater, and a paranormal investigation.
And history.
And history, yeah. So that was fun. And then another question, one more question that I kind of want to talk about that we get is one, have you investigated other places, and two, what do you have planned? Okay, so have we investigated other places? Yes, we have. We've investigated a family cemetery of mine that is honestly in the middle of nowhere. We have a couple other places lined up. Some of them are official historical places that we're really excited about, and then some of them are personal residences, and do we charge for that? No, we don't charge for it. The only thing that we ask is that we're able to share. We're able to share after. We come in, and again, our method is different, and so we want to video, share the history, share what you're experiencing. So that's really all.
And I don't have anything against anybody else who has a different method.
No,
by any means, because there's all kinds of methods out there, but I think ours is the most accessible.
Yes,
because there's no meter that you have to interpret. There's no special access to the spirit world. It's a video.
It's a video. We show you what we go through,
and we do the research.
Yeah. If we're hiking through the woods for 4 hours, that's what you get. The Watch Cemetery investigate, that's ended up what that was. We went out there and investigated.
Thankfully, there was some editing, so you didn't have to watch all 4 hours.
There's a lot of editing, a lot of editing. So what we have in store, okay, so what we have in store is look out for more locations, some historical, most of them are in this area, of course, because that's what we love, this podcast. But some more investigations and more videos. Just this tour has been a huge part of it, and just taking up time and making sure that was right. So we kind of, everything else we kind of, was centered around that. But yeah, I'm excited. The tour has gone so well, sold out. So I'm excited about next year for one. And then I'm also excited about the other investigations that are coming from people that have been on the tour and contacting us because they've called the number we set up.
Right.
And so we're getting some just great feedback, and it's wonderful. So the number is 434-381-0242. You can call, leave a message, leave your story.
It's worth just calling the number.
The voice is awesome. So you have to understand, when you listen to this podcast, you listen to that stuff, I'm a huge fan of retro sci-fi, the Haunted Mansion at Disney is my favorite thing in the entire world, behind my wife and dogs. That is the most
somewhere
amazing,
in there.
somewhere in the top. And then Vincent Price, you can't, come on.
Right.
So
I think that's part of what we do is, we have the video evidence, but we will package things sort of stylized. That's just for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, and that's what we like.
Right.
I want to, with this.
But we're not going to have we're not going to be investigating something and then overdub Vincent Price's voice while we're walking through the forest.
No, not at all.
And if we do, you'll know it's a gag.
You'll know it's a gag.
Yeah.
So our thing, we entertain too, and we love to do this. So you'll see a good mix of our personalities and our preferences. I love the old school Addams Family. You'll notice that's my vibe. So
that's more my speed than any kind of Friday the 13th horror slasher kind of stuff.
And that's so. We have a good time at the Academy, and we had a ton of good questions, especially last night. I left on I had a glow because just everyone embraced Hill City Paranormal, and you could just tell that there was just such a good energy coming out, and that people were excited, and that they wanted to share their stories, and that's awesome.
Now we've got the ring.
Now we got the ring thing we got to investigate.
Do some further investigation.
So we're gonna talk to Tabitha about that after I hit stop on this. So. So tune in to another episode of Hill City Paranormal Podcast. This is Jeremy.
Great to be here.
And this is Woody.
Thanks for listening.
Be sure to check out our website at hillcityparanormal.com. And thank you for listening.